Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my YouTube fellas and gals. Oh, I am late. I'm a bad girl. Okay, let me see here. The heck did I do? I'm always pushing the wrong buttons. Shh, don't tell on me. Okay, sure, I'm on live chat. Alrighty, so I have my cover, like I told you I would last week. Here is my cover. And I didn't get a chance to dye paper. So I thought, oh no, I'm going to come on here and I'm not going to have no content again to share new. But I happened to walk into my computer room and voila, look at this scrumptiousness I found. Woo! I found my dyed papers. Hey, Cynthia. So what I'm going to do tonight is I learned something new. Somebody told me that we can't share our own links because it knocks off subscribers. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not going to take that chance. So I am going to go here. I don't know if Cynthia is ever going to have a channel, but she is an awesome supporter. So we're going to stick her in here anyways. So we're going to do it this way. Hey, Heavenly Faith, how are you? So there is Cynthia's link. Because I want to do a little networking during my lives. That's too funny. So we will take, and this is Heavenly's link. Goodbye. So this is Heavenly's link. Are you not going to visit, or did you come in here just to spam? Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We are actually going to go to, and I don't mean to be rude doing this, but I'm going to block this person from coming into my stream because I believe this is a spammer. I believe in my Lord, but I don't need people coming in here to talk about that when we're not on that subject. And this person has come in here before and has literally just spammed. Yeah, pretty much. They come in here and act goofy. It's like, I love the Lord and stuff, but you know how sometimes you just get those people that just shove it down your throat when you're not even on the subject. If I was on the subject of Jesus and that person had something to say about it, I don't have a problem with it, for or against. But they come in, they spam, and they leave. Like, they never have a normal conversation. Weird. So how are you, Savage? We get crazy people. Seriously. Totally crazy people. So let me get this in here. This way, when people come in here later, they can go and check out each other's streams. Because sometimes I think when I'm in networking streams, like the bigger ones that are faster, I can't keep up with clicking. Like when I'm on James's channel, his flies. And he's really good about him and his, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife, but they really are good about putting like double links in, but I can never catch them. So I always go back to his live later to recatch too. But he does a great networking stream. And if you have not heard of him, Ice Cream, here's his link. This is a great networking channel. Let me get him in here. I've been following James for a while now. So you're welcome. And I like how him and his wife handle stuff. He don't put up with no crap. This is James's Gabe's channel. If you want a true networking channel that's really good, and he's got a lot of subscribers, he's up into, he's got 44,000. No, James Gabe. And he's a great networking place. And another place that networks, if you can catch him, because they're in the Philippines and they're on a different time zone. He is so funny. I swear, I love Kuliko. Kulikoi. I don't know how you say his name, but he is really funny. He plays music and he sings, and he is just a riot. Hey, Stacy. But if you get the chance, go check out these two people because they're really great too. James's channels and Kolikoi's channel, they're really fun to network on. They really are. And Stacy has a channel. The tip of the day, they say don't share your own channel in a link in a stream. Have somebody do it for you because it'll knock off your subscribers. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do it this way. And you know, different people have different setups. Some channels will make people all mods to put their own links in and stuff like that, which I like moderators because I like the color blue. Some channels, they only mod a couple people and they do all of the networking themselves. So that's what I said. If somebody else wants to help me share links to people that come in, if you're in blue, you can. More than happy. All you do is right click, go to their channel, pick up their link, put it in for someone else. But don't do it for yourself, because if you put your own link in, I guess subscribers drop. But I've had it happen either way. Every night it seems like I'll gain 10, lose 10. Then I'll gain 11, lose 10. I don't know what is up with YouTube right now, but it's weird. So these are the last of my orange dyed papers. And unfortunately, the way I did these ones, I actually can't do these orange ones anymore. So this is the last of my orange set for now until I find another way to dye papers. I actually used an orange crystal light, but we don't have the orange anymore. in our stores. I've looked. I don't know why it's not there, but that's what I use. The only thing bad about using Crystal Light is you get crystals on your paper, and sometimes you kind of got to flick it off. There's Sandy. That's my sassy Sandy. I wish she actually had this ID because she's a riot. And we will do the Sassy Sandy link. She doesn't have a channel yet, but maybe one day. You never know. So we're going to do this. Sandy's link, ... And here you go. You're welcome. Hold on. Let me give you a wrench. Yeah, I did all that. And it still does the same thing, Savage. I will go and talk to them in the stream, go and comment. I still lose 10. And how I know is I go into my YouTube studio. I have this app on my phone. And I love it how people say you're done because they added you. And guess what? They don't show up. See that number right there? That is your legit analytics. Now, YouTube will take time for it to come and go. But this app on my phone is accurate. And they'll say done. And I'll be like, no, you didn't. Because it's not showing up. Even 5 minutes later. They'll say they're done, but they're not. And it's weird. Because when I lose them here on the studio, it still shows the same number on YouTube on my computer. Like if I go from this app to my YouTube app over here, come on. This here only shows you partial. Wait a minute. When I go to my channel, it says 278. This number here will not change. Your studio will change first. It takes a little time for the regular YouTube app. I don't know why, but I get two different numbers. It'll still say a higher number on my regular YouTube app, but when I go to studio, it'll show two less. It's weird. Because this is the regular YouTube app. And then Clear, I got a lot of apps. So hold on. And then that's the studio app. Come on, phone, focus. So there, it's two different apps that shows you your stuff. So it's interesting. And then I don't know if you were in here, Savage, when I taught this tip last week, but I wanted to teach you something again this week. If new people were in here, this is very interesting. Hey, Mark, welcome back. Hello, Angel and Cold Heart. Okay, so you guys share this information because this is factual and I will show it. When you go into Instagram or you see YouTube and you see how people have millions of subscribers, that doesn't mean you can follow millions back. And it was funny because I started out on Instagram and I kept getting an error. Like I was adding a whole bunch of people at once because I got into the makeup community when I first started. And I was adding. And then one day I couldn't add no more. I kept getting an error, but it wouldn't tell me what the error meant. So I couldn't add no more people every time I tried. So I decided to type in Google. I'll show you. How many people, okay, it's what you title, how many people can I follow on Instagram before I get cut off? Okay. You can only follow 7,500 people. That's it. A million people can follow you, but you can't follow them back. So I thought this was very interesting because a lot of people didn't know this. I know I didn't. So here, if you get up to 7,500 people that you're following, you're going to get an error. That's how they reduce spam. So then I got to thinking, what about YouTube? So I typed in, how many people can I follow on YouTube? Now, YouTube is a little different, but it's still finicky. And this is what a lot of new people don't know when they're in those streams and they're following everybody. This is what YouTube does. Watch it not come up. Sometimes this comes up in Google and sometimes it doesn't for some reason. How many people can I follow on YouTube before I get cut off? Okay. Now, YouTube has limits. And this is what it says. I get a new answer. So this is definitely a new answer this week. But this is what it says. You can only subscribe to 75 channels per day. In general, you can subscribe to a maximum of 2,000 channels. But your subscription limit grows as your YouTube channel does. What happened was once I got to 2,000, I kept getting a 4-something error. So then what happened on that is once you get to that 2,000 level, 2,000 people have to follow you back in your growth before you can follow more. Because it was I can't remember if it was a 4-something error that I was getting. Well, then when I asked YouTube, why can't I follow? It kept saying to go through your subscriber list to see if anybody abandoned your channels. Unsubscribe and you can subscribe to more. But the bad thing is, say you want to subscribe to one person, you unsubscribe to one, but it won't let you subscribe to a person. You got to unsubscribe to like 5 before you can subscribe to one. It's like so messed up. But that's how it rolls. So anyway, I'll get back to you guys. Let me get back on here. Okay. So how are you, Marcelo? Thank you, Mark. Doing great. So then what I did was I could go into, what were we talking about? Something else I was going to say and I just completely forgot. No, YouTube Studio is not behind, Stacy. The regular YouTube app is the one that's behind. The YouTube Studio is actually accurate. Okay, this is saves. And then here is angels. I don't know you well enough for you to join. I don't just let anybody up here unless I know them. No offense, Marcelo, but I don't know you well enough for you to be on my panel. Plus, you don't go into a stream as somebody you don't know and say, can I join you? It's better to get to know people first. Hey, Fifi. There's my favorite Fifi. Man, I have been a busy woman this week, let me tell you. I almost didn't do my live tonight because I was so busy. Okay, I call her Fifi. This is her link. Thank you. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome to the channel. I remember meeting you. Yep, Fifi, I gave you a link. Here's Stephanie's channel. We'll put her in here. I got something I want to show you, Stephanie, here in a second. Marcella, you look like a kid. Are you a kid? How are kids allowed in streams that's 18 and plus? Oh, well, I'll show you real quick before you leave. This is my goth style. This is my baby creation because I know she likes gothic. Have I ever been into gothic? No. But when I decided to do my ultimate creation, I picked goth. Maybe because I don't see it very often. But I didn't want the scary side of goth. I wanted the romance side of goth. So I do junk journals and I create journals out of books or book board. And I use digitals to create this. And this is my journal. It says, welcome to my tranquility. I have a flip through video of this, so I'm going to go pretty quickly. But this is my beautiful creation. I love this thing. How this came out of my brain, I don't know. But it took me over a year. I put the SSI person in there. I like her. And this was a blast. It really was. But this is what we do in the junk journal community and the creative journal community. These are pockets out of lace. This is the kind of stuff we do. So this book was actually created because I wanted to see where I stood. And I actually did stencils and all of this good stuff. Yes, Fifi. Tammy's got talent. That was hidden, but shh, don't tell nobody. So what I did was, it's missing like a lot of things. Like I didn't go too fancy where I had belly bands and all that kind of stuff. But like, this is why we like cards. If you're new to the junk journal community, we upcycle, we use whatever. This was a deck of cards that I found. And we use deck of cards because of the pictures on them. You would not believe the appreciation in napkins and stuff like that. So this was a card in here. And I turned this into a creative envelope. And then these are just paper clips, people. You take a paper clip and you take a little bulb clip. And so if you don't know what junk journals are, please Google them on YouTube. You can search them on YouTube. You can run them on Google because people sell these not just on YouTube, but eBay and Etsy is a good place. Type in homemade junk journals and just window browse. And then this here, I put stickles in that rose to give it a shimmer. Lots of beautiful crafting products went into this. Distress inks. I love digitals too, besides regular paper pads, but I was never a scrapbooker. I learned how to create animations clear back in 2003 or 4. I don't know. It was a long time ago when MSN had places you could join, and I was a part of a thing called Designing Tags. And what they did was you could take a still picture and you could make hair blow in the wind. You could put water, rain. I learned to do all that stuff before this. So I kind of wanted to take what I learned in digital and catch up with a little scrapbooking technique and put it all together in one book. So when you get to this part here, this was actually something that I seen done in the animation world. And there was a lady who took a picture of my daughter, and this part here opened up and her picture was in the center. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen done as an animation. So I decided to do the doors in this book. And what I did was I printed the pictures and then I cut around so that the doors would open. I actually have this one touched. I use nose rings. I was trying to think of what, I mean, if you would have seen me, Fifi's known me for a long time on here. I literally dreamed of this shit for 3 weeks. I kid you not. What can I use for door handles that's small enough to fit in a journal? And I started with, I can't remember what I was thinking. Door handles that you get off of jewelry boxes, or, you know, something that you can open a doorknob with. And I went down this rabbit trail where every night I kept typing stuff in, and nose rings came out of this. So that's what these are. Look at look, I'm not kidding. Look, it's a nose ring. They had these kind, and then, you know, I don't know what they're called, but the, you know, the long ones. I'll show you another door. But anyway, so what I did was I made these to where the door is physically opened. And then inside, a Gothic poem. These were actually found on Pinterest. So this one here is called Nightfall. And people who wrote, I left their names at the bottom. If they didn't have their names, well, then I can't give them the, you know, the rights. But like, this is an example. It says, breaching silence, worries glean upon my nerves as thus must lean. I'm not going to read the whole thing. From realms beyond that are unseen as nightfall lingers nigh. And it goes on. So behind each door, there's a message. And I think this is so cute. I had a lot of fun making these doors. Put it back here. Get up in there. And then this will shut. I'm not going to put it through the other hole, but this is just to give you an example. This is one of my doors. And then, let me see where the next one is. There's the other door. Now, this is the one that's got the handles going downward. It's a nose ring. So I glued these to each side. And then that one opens with the message. And then I have like 3 of them in here. Oh, this one here I did as a glow page. Look how pretty that is. That's all stenciled. These are Nouveau mousses, and This one here particularly, I took a paintbrush and dipped it into this opal polish. And that's what this is stenciled with. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, a lot of work. And like I said, she was over a year to make because I put a lot of thought into how I was going to do this. Now, this is what I learned in the digital community. She was picked off of Pinterest, but I did all the brackets. There's brackets that you can find under images. And I took my art program and put these on before they were printed. This was a lot of work. Sandy knows. She kept saying, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" It took me forever to get this displayed and finished. Thank goodness I'm on Insta Ink on my printer because it saved me a lot of money. Where in the heck is my red one? You got to see my red doors. There they are. This is my set of red doors. Isn't that cool looking? And I did the downs on this one too. But like I said, each one's got a message. And then I took eyelash trim, spiked it on the top. And then all of my little charms. I have a butterfly charm. I have a wicked cat. All these charms came from different places. There's a flower. And that's what the front looks like. And then this is the spine. These I bought off a KK's sale. And then this fabric. This is what you call a hidden signature spine. And I was worried because my biggest concern was my signatures were going to be heavy because I wanted this to be chunky. My husband's like, "You made the spine too fat." I said, "No, I didn't. It's perfect." But I was worried about when you do a hidden spine, you have to worry about the weight of your signatures because paper's heavy. So when I put it together, I used Gorilla Glue and I did what it took, people, because these are sewed to another piece of cardboard box that's like a cereal box, and it wasn't holding. Even with the Gorilla Glue, it was so heavy, it was pulling away, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna flunk this." Because this is the first time I did a hidden spine. So what I ended up doing was I had to pull this part apart some, and I had to take a sewing needle and sew this across the top and across the bottom for it to actually hold. And then I had to re-glue this. So it's actually sewed here. These are sewed in and it's sewed on the bottom. But yeah, she was a piece of work. And this is what junk journalers do. It's mostly supposed to be things you're going to throw away. This is more of a crafty journal than a junk journal. Junk journals are like receipts and junk. And then I met Stephanie and I saw Gothic. And I thought, she's going to love this. All right. I got to share it with you, Steph. Well, you have a good one. And thank you, Mark. Hey, Cleveland. But it was a job. Oh, was it a job? And then here is, I don't know if Mark will ever have a channel, but this is Mark's link. And like I said, don't share your own link. Try to get somebody in the stream to share your link for you, especially when you're networking, because it'll knock it off. You have sweet dreams, Steph. And then we have Cleveland in here. So let me get to Cleveland's channel. I have met a lot of great channels the past couple weeks. I'm telling you. And for people who are new, go back to the beginning. I put a couple links in here that are great networking channels. If you want to grow your channel, they are really nice places to go. Well, you never know, Mark. I know I was like that when I first came here. It was weird. Let me get Brandon in here because I missed Brandon. Oh, I thought you was a girl. I'm sorry. You know, people keep thinking I'm a guy because of the name Tammy. They keep calling me Tommy too. I guess Tammy must be a male name in another country. And I'm like, no, not here in the United States. There's Sandy. Let me get Brandon in here. If I miss anybody, let me know. Hey, Leslama, how are you? Sandy, you're such a riot. Gotta put Sandy's link. We got two Sandys in here. We got two sassy Sandys. Got a Sandy with an E and a Sandy with a Y. There's Sandy's link if she ever grows the channel. You know, and I believe it, Mark, because my friends nicknamed me T because they got tired of saying, "Hey, Tammy," and having like six heads turn, not knowing which one it was. I went to school with a bunch of Tammys. So, I get it. But yeah, I had that nickname for a while. My friends would say, "Hey, T," because they got tired of everybody answering. Let's see. We'll get her channel in here. Sandy. Now don't do don't do what I do. I remember when I was first modded on YouTube. It's so funny because I'm a lefty. So I'm sitting here and I start to fall asleep. And my thumb's over here, right by the picture. So I'd fall asleep and see what happens. You tap this up, and then I would time people out. I did that I don't know how many times, and I felt so bad. Or when I go outside to take my dog out, I put my phone in my pocket, but I still want to hear what's going on in the stream. So I literally my gloves in my pocket hit my phone and it would time people out. Oh, you're welcome. Tim. You know, it's funny, Tim. I have a nickname in New Zealand. One of my friends calls me Tim Tam. And for the longest time, I didn't know what a Tim Tam was till I looked it up. It's a really cool, tasty treat. Just saying. Hey, Debbie. There's that naughty Debbie. Let me get Tim in here. Yes, that's what I heard, Fifi. Everybody calls Fifi Marge, but I call her Fifi. She'll always be my Fifi. Here's Tim's channel. Like I said, if you're a mod, you can share the other people's stream that's in here, but Just don't share your own, because if you do, it'll knock off your subscribers. That's what I've been told. I don't know, but we won't take the chance. You're welcome. I'm so happy. Tim made the 1K, and I don't have like ephemera to throw around, but I think that's so cool. I love it. I made my first 1K in Crystal Stream. She goes by R5 Adventures, and her husband do a lot of fishing, and they do a lot of stuff. And I got my 1K for the first time in her stream. And it was so exciting. I felt like I was stuck on like 300 and 500 forever. And it took me forever to get the 1K. And I'm going to put Crystal's channel in here. She owns a horse too. I'm so jealous. And right now she's been teaching people like how to can and different things like that. So I'm going to put R5's channel. And I did put in a couple really good streams at the beginning. Cooley Co's channel and James Gipe. James is at 44,000. He is very good about networking channels. So if you want to grow your channel, he's the one you want to visit. And I'm going to share him again just in case. He goes by James Gipe. He's funny. He's real monotone. I've been following him for a while. Boy, he gets lots of trolls. I like how some people deal with their trolls, though. They crack me up. But this is James's channel. So if you want a new networking channel, this is where you go. Okay, so back to what I was doing. So, okay. So, this is what you do. This I did not make. This actually was created by another person who does sales on here, Patty Lang. This was actually created to go this way, but see, I'm not like a pink person. I'm not like, yeah, we'll go with the blue and the butterflies. This is more my style. I like the dark, bolder colors. So, but I really liked how she did this. So I flipped it inside out. I like how this paint goes across the paper. This is really cool. So I bought this at one of her live sales, and I'm about to turn this into a journal. So I was waiting to dye papers, and you just find what you want in your journal. I'm a journaler. I love diaries, journals. I just do. So if you are not into writing, you don't have to be. You can make a journal into anything you want it to be. I don't have my dad's down here. I still haven't given him his Father's Day gift. Shame on me, because my car broke down. So yeah, I'm dealing with that too. But it's going in the shop tomorrow. So I'll be able to give them their 60th wedding anniversary gift. Yay, mom and dad, 60 years. Woohoo. My mom and dad are amazing people. And my dad's Father's Day gift, I have them all sitting upstairs. They just haven't gotten them yet. Hey, Tom girl. Now that I can relate to. We have a Tom girl in here. Okay, let me get your channel in here. Unless you want to help me, Tim. If you're in blue and you see somebody come in, please share their channel. Right click on their name, or click on their over top of their name, and you should see go to channel, grab their link like you're sharing it, and then stick it in here with their name. Yeah, 60 years. Can you believe it? So anyways, the main part about building your journal, and just to give people who are new some ideas, this is a journal I made. I love postcards. So a friend of mine who's actually another journaler, because I do go window shopping through Etsy, without this part on it, this part here wasn't there. It just said postcard. I saw this journal, and she's from Australia, and I loved it. And I said, I know exactly what I want to do with that journal when I saw it. So I went through all of my old letters growing up. Guess what I did? I picked out all of my postcards. Got some washi tape. This is my postcard journal and my stamp collecting journal. And that's what I turned it into. So when my grandparents or my friends would go on vacations, they would send me postcards. This is where it ends up. I even did a giveaway on here on YouTube once where I said, if you send me a postcard, I'll enter you in the giveaway. So I got a couple that way too. And this is where they go. Journals can be for this kind of stuff. It can be, you know, if you travel and you want to make a list, there's traveling journals, memory journals. You can put anything you want in journals. And so this is my postcard journal, and it's not filled yet, but it's getting there. And then another journal that I have, my Sunny Fun Time mails, that I do on here for crafters that I shop off of, or places I buy my crafting supplies. If you're a crafter, this would come in handy. This is my Sunny Fun Time mail journal, and what I did with it is my favorite people that craft on here get a 2-page spread with their business cards and stuff like that. The girl that I bought the postcard journal off, her name's JD from Australia. She actually has a place called Willow Bound Journals on Etsy. I call her JD. Her name's Uni Desiree. And we became friends when I came into the crafting community. And then here's Patty's page. Here's Amy's page by her dyed papers. This is Rosie Crafty Shack. And this is how I keep track of my favorite businesses in my little Sunny Fun Time journal. And then this journal. Okay, Tammy, you're having a craft lunch over here. Hold on. Hold on. I got stuff falling on me. Okay, my favorite rollers. You just want to slide. So anyways, this is my cat journal. People who have been on my channel have seen this one before. This is actually in memory of my cat, Hope and Heather. I had them since they were wee babies. Hope lived to be 21 years old, or Heather was 21 years old when she died, and Hope was 22. They were sisters from the same litter, and I wanted to do a memory book because they're the longest pets I've ever had. So that's what I did with this. So I kind of turned it Halloween into fall because of them being black cats. That's my Hope. I love her. I miss her. We called her Preacher because of her spot. She was my baby. She used to sleep on my pillow. So whenever I see the word Hope, she's who I think of. So I had fun making this in memory for them. And this was a book. It came into my used bookstore, which I do own a used bookstore. Look at that pose. Tell me that's not a pose. That is a pose. She posed, buddy. So this is what I did for their memory. It's not finished yet. It goes into the fall. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. My babies. Look how much they aged. But one had kidney failure, and the other one had really bad problems with her thyroid, and it kind of sucked the life out of her. But this is my memory of them. Even though the book's falling apart, it doesn't matter. I can rubber band it. This is what you called an altered book. This book here was like count 5 pages, tear 5 out. Count 5 pages, tear, and then you build it back up into a journal. And then this one is called a signature journal because you can see where the signatures were sewn in and they're not hidden like my Gothic one. So that's the difference between the styles of journals you could make too. Okay, let me get to chat. I got to catch up. Oh, look at you. Yeah, Mark, some people do sell. Hey, Shells, is there a reason why you're typing one letter at a time? Let me get back here. I think I missed a bunch. Hold on. What do you mean, Lasama? I haven't been listing anywhere. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, the Tammy movies. That's hysterical. Oh, Sandy, it's fun to mod, especially when you get to pick on people. Okay. Tim. Tim, you're such a riot. Sandy. Her hub is Big Daddy. Pink station wagon. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I haven't taken anybody's suggestion, Lazamas. I don't know who you're talking about. And I'm doing good, Tom Girl. Thanks for asking. Yep. Petting the journals is always fun. Thanks, Sandy. Get down here. Thanks, Lazam. Yep, she did. Okay, Shell's story. Let me get to her channel. I call my daughter Shell. That's her nickname. Okay, here's Shell's channel. Let me catch up. Yeah, pig. Sometimes they have journals, like I've seen them sell for like $300 and more power to people that do that. But I'm more of a thrifter type person. So I try to sell my journals to where everybody can afford them. And Hey Journal, Gigi Hannah, we will put her channel in here. Journals channel. So there's her channel. Almost caught up. Thank you, Tim. Anyways, give me 1 second and I will be right back. Talk amongst each other. Check out channels. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. My dog is petrified of storms. So she hears thunder. She freaks out. She's like 70 pounds. She like sitting on top of me. Here's my baby. There's my fur baby. That's my Ronies. I call her Roni Pepperoni. Oh, we brought her in as a puppy. Look how cute she looks. Do you see my baby? She's my baby. So, this was another one I created out of a cracker box. And what this does, thank you, it holds all the obituaries that you pick up at the funeral home. I have family in here and people close to me that passed away, and that's what I use this book for. So, it's like I said, journals can be turned into anything. Here's a lamb. This is my grandmother that passed away. That's my mom's mom. So, everybody that I had lost goes in here, and like paper clippings and things like that. And this is my little storage book right out of a cardboard. I mean, it's just a cardboard cracker box. And this here is wallpaper. You know, the kind you can put on your shelves or whatever. So that's how I made that one. And then the ones I'm working on currently, all I have to do is finish these. I'm keeping them. I don't have any for sale right now. But I created these ones lately. They just need tassels to finish them. This one is my first one out of fabric, actually. I bought Holly Hobby because I love Holly Hobby. I had a Hobby Hobby when I was a young girl. And I made 2 of them and I sold the other one. But this is my Holly Hobby journal. And this was a digital kit that I bought off of Etsy. I love this particular kit. And one thing I love about kits is you can print them over and over and over to your heart's desire. Where I wish some of the places that sells our paper would turn them into digitals. And this is more of an eclectic journal, which means it's got different size papers in it, different like cardboard, regular paper. This is a hanky that I actually smushed into a pocket. This image came from Pixabay, which gives you free copyright-free images, so you can do with them what you want. And that's another thing you got to watch. When you're making journals, you cannot sell ones with copyright images or you could get in trouble. So you got to know the places to get them where they're copyright free to sell them. But digitals you can sell. And I love the digital papers. I think this was wrapping paper that I found. And then my signatures. This was hemp cord. And these I bought at the Dollar Tree. They're the little sticky beads, and I just use them to cover the signatures because some people hide these and some people show them. Sometimes you can dangle them down here and put charms on them. There's so many possibilities with these journals. It's not even funny. And this, I love this digital kit. This digital kit's amazing. And then this was more wrapping paper. And then what you do is you find your pieces and you sew them into your signature. So you guys are getting a flip through. This is from a coloring book of my latest 2 journals that are almost done. It's always about the pieces. Once you get the pieces together and you figure out what you want in it, then you're good to go. Wrapping paper again. Wrapping paper is awesome to use. As a matter of fact, that's what my glue book is covered with. This is actually covered with wrapping paper that I got at the Dollar Tree. I liked it because it was teenish. It has roller skates on it and stuff like that. So here's my flip through. So this is pretty much what I will do with this one. I love this page. There's another hanky. These hankies are so cool because when I buy these at people's sales or I find them in the vintage mall, they're so cool to make pockets out of. Hey, Metro. And this is just a piece of regular scrapbooking paper. More of the digital kit. Get back in there. These envelopes are cool, but sometimes they don't want to cooperate. There. And then here's the page. This page was fun. And this came off of another digital kit. I like Tracy Fox's. She's from the UK. She does a lot of really cool digital kits on Etsy. And then this is one of those little organza bags that you can tuck stuff in. And that is my Holly Hobby Journal, which I will be using this myself. And never thought I would keep one of my journals, but I did. And this is another one I'm keeping. This is the one Becky fights me for. I think Becky wants this one. My friend Becky on here. I love The Ugly Duckling. This is one of my favorite stories growing up. Oh, darn it. Viv is live right now. I'm going to whoop her. I always miss her sales because she goes live when I do, and I want to nib. Okay, let me get in here. She's live on the Whatnot app. Oh, no, Deb. We will definitely send prayers out for you. Hold on, I want to get Metro's channel in here too. Prayers for Debbie. Put you on my prayer list. This is Metro's channel. Prayers, Deb. Okay, now what I did in this one was the golden books you have to watch because where they bend is not where you do these. And my friend Bonnie from the UK told me, or no, see, JD's from Australia, Bonnie's from Australia, right? Yeah. Yeah, Bonnie's from Australia too. Oh my gosh, I can't think tonight. I'm so burnt out. But Bonnie and Clive, that's the name of her cat, Clive, that comes in to visit me. She's my sister from another mother in another country. I just love Bonnie. She's awesome. And I'm going to put her channel in here too. Just because I can. Let me get her in here. Bonnie's a true junk journaler. She will tell you if it's store-bought, it's not the true junk journal. She's so cute. Usually she'll come visit me. I haven't been to her channel lately, but we talk through Skype a lot. I can get away with talking to her on the phone and not have to pay the charges. But this is Bonnie's channel. And she's awesome. I love to even listen to her talk. I love her accent. Well, she showed the true way that you do the little golden books. And what it is the golden books have staples in them. So you take the staples out if you want to expand the spine like I did. And I just use a piece of cardboard. It can be from a cracker box, cereal box. It doesn't matter as long as it feels firm enough. But where this book bends, you want to glue a cord into the bend when you take this apart and then put your spine on, which I didn't do it. I actually did this where it bent, and this is what happens. So I left the story in because I love the story of the Ugly Duckling, and I didn't want to hurt the story any, because sometimes you get these books and they got kids writing or something in them. So you can turn them into journals. So this is what happens when you don't follow the rules. Like I didn't follow the rules for this one. You have to really be careful, because look what happened. See how the top of that's cut off? I almost cut the words off. That's because I didn't do what Bonnie did and actually extended the book the way you're supposed to, because this actually should go out further. So yeah, you live and learn as a journaler when you're doing stuff like that too. So this is more the eclectic style. Eclectic means different size papers that can go sideways, up and down. That's that style. Steampunk is another style of journal. And steampunk is anything with gears, things like that, rust, all that fun stuff. Now, I've never done a steampunk journal yet, but who knows what the future will hold. And then shabby chic is more the girly side. It's more like pink, florals. Michelle Scott is our shabby chic girl. And yes, I will put Scotty's channel in here too, because I really like her as a crafter. And she also teaches people how to make things homemade. Like, instead of buying gesso, she has videos to make this homemade from your household products. Scotty's really good about stuff like that. She's been on YouTube longer than me. She is a lot of fun. She's a riot, actually. She doesn't live far from me. And I keep telling my hubby we need to get a camper, because I really want to go meet her in person. I think she would be a blast to spend time with. Her name is Michelle Scott, but I call her Scotty. And this is her channel. And she also does sales with Michelle Girly Girl, who sells, she has a business called Your Crafting Source, and she sells a lot of Tim Holtz items and Ranger items. But that's Scotty's channel. All right, Sandy. I'm so glad you got to pop in. Sandy's a riot. Sandy, you're our class clown. She's always got fun stuff to say. She's a riot. She tries to keep things uplifted in streams. I love watching her talk in streams sometimes. It's hysterical what comes out of that woman. And this here, I did Pinterest. See, some of my journals that I'm keeping have copyrighted images in them because I find them on Pinterest. Look at that baby swan. Isn't it cute? They like babies. And then I use this in here, and I did the dots again. And it's just random paper. You can use random papers that you have laying around. You can have ones that fold out. They can be too long, and you just fold them in. Some people will get humongous pages and fold them up and turn them into pockets. I actually hinge these so they would stay upright. I hinge these pages together. You can cover that with washi tape and nobody would even know they're hinged. But I like showing everything. Because sometimes the crafters, let me tell you, this is probably the worst community for freaking gossip. It's ridiculous. God forbid you see something on somebody's channel and then you do it. Oh, you copyrighted me. You mocked me. And it's like, my goodness, people. This stuff has been going on for years. I mean, if you think you created it, fine. But there's a lot of stuff in crafting that we all think of as the same. And you don't have to necessarily watch somebody's video to pick up on it. And this was a pocket that I kind of put together. I put a piece of thing here to hold that. And then there's a girl in there. And then this piece here I glued will hold the flap shut. Of course, the word hope. My cat. I think of her every time. I found this definition on something, so I took it off. And then this is a digital kit that I found on Etsy. So I just stuck the pieces together to make this little hope pocket look good. And then more paper. This was just out of a notebook. And just any kind of papers. And you can turn anything into a journal. These type of pages I like for pictures. Like if I'm taking pictures that month that I'm journaling, I literally glue them on those style of papers to give them like a background look. And then here's more swans. I love this piece of paper. I think that's so cool. I like the paint stroke look. And then this is like a denim. Like you can put real doilies, but this is actually a paper pad, but it feels denim. And here's another one. And then, of course, you fold them so you get two sides. And there's the story. So you can read a story inside of a story. You can read somebody's journal inside of The Ugly Duckling. So I thought it was fun. But like I said, it's the whole thing of finding the right combination of pages that you want to put into your journal. And then I did those. Isn't that cute? They're so stinking cute. And I had pieces of laces that I used. So you can turn these dimensional. And this here is a napkin. I took all the, you know how your napkin comes in like 3 or 2. Tear that part off and take this part. And if you put it over a word page, the words will show through. And then there's the ugly duckling. Isn't it cute? It's cute. So that's my ugly duckling book. And when I think of the ugly duckling, thank you, Metro. I think of going through puberty. I don't know, but I just do. Thank you, Mark. But yeah, it's like, I think of like the stages we go through because this poor duck, you know, he stands out. He's like, where's my mama? And he goes through these stages and turns into a beautiful swan. You know what I mean? So your inner beauty comes out eventually when we go through the pimple stage and the awkward stages. And this was a lot of fun. So the whole point is to get your pieces together. That's how you want to do a journal. Is you got to find your pieces. Yeah, Debbie, I see. And I even know that the double-sided tape doesn't always work. So when I use it, I have a habit of doing glue because I have these books that were put together in the 70s, and you could tell they used double-sided tape. Like, the papers come right out of the book. So you wouldn't know how long something lasts until it sits around. You know what I mean? Like, if you tried something in the 70s, you're not going to know what it's, you know, if it holds till 2000s, you know what I mean? So it takes time sometimes to know if some of this stuff works too. So now this book here is going to be a little shorter because this is the regular page of paper. Just to give an example. That's ripped. Hold on. Well, darn it, that one's ripped too. I must have had a ripped pile. Okay. Say we have this yellow piece of paper. I dye these, by the way, too. you fold your paper in half. This is how I start my journals. First, I want to get an idea of measurements. So I take this and I set the hardback book up and I look at where this is actually going to sit when it's signatured in. So this book is actually a little longer than standard paper. So even if you had a page longer than this, that would be okay because you could turn it into like a flip. Because sometimes people will have a page like this and you can also on those and add out too. So this is how I do mine. But the hardest part I think of doing these books is the pieces. You know, once you get the pieces together, you're good. And when I first started journaling like this and making these, I was decorating them after they were sewed in the book, where now I don't. I make the signatures up outside of the book first, and I'll leave the cover to last. Because when I did my Gothica, you take lace if you want pockets, and you can start it here, wrap it around your signature, and end up with 2 pockets of lace because you have wrapped them around. So, and before you sew them in, because I made a mistake of sewing them in, and I'm like, okay, now I can't make the pockets because it'd have to be like here to here instead of a wraparound. So it's some things to think about to decide when you want to make a journal, if you're interested, how you're going to do it. Take care, Metro, and you take care too, Lazama. Thanks for coming in. Gotta type it in. You have a great night too. See you later, Gigi. So then, that's what you do. So say, for instance, this here to me is ephemera, so I'm going to put it aside. So this is a digital one. So say, you know, sometimes I like to cover the outside of my signature with more of a thicker paper, like cardstock than regular paper, because I feel that they hold better. So I will take, and this is what I'll do. I'll pick out what I want, like this. And this has got blues, yellows, greens. I don't have any green dyed paper, so we will substitute here. Definitely have coffee dyed. And then we will do an orange. And I have blue. So you just take the pieces you want. I don't have any ephemera style paper down here, so I'll have to go look through my short pile. I love coffee dyed paper. I have not tea dyed yet. That's something in the future. I had my Etsy store filled up with paper, and I had a live sale one time where I sold my paper. My gosh, my paper goes so freaking fast. When I sell it, it's crazy. I mean, it's a good thing, but then it's like, one time I had a sale, it was crazy. I just build up a pile, and thank God I did 50 of each color, because I had an order come through where a lady wanted a set of each color, and I sell them by the 50s. I sell 50 dyed pages for $1, like 10 a piece for $1, like 10 for $1. So it come to $5.50 with tax. I charged, I think, $5.50, which is gonna be up to 6 this year because it is a lot of work. I'm not charging for when I bake them in my oven because, yes, I do bake my papers. Um, my coffee dyed papers also get a hint of vanilla. I stick a vanilla cooking stuff in there too, so they smell good. And she wanted a set of each, which meant 50 of each color. That's a lot of paper. You should have seen me shoving it in this box to even mail it to her because I try to make my packaging and shipping as cheap as possible. So it was a lot. And I told my husband, she took up my whole stash. So I had to die for 3 more days to finish the rest of the orders. It was nuts. So now I'm going to be prepared. If I ever do my papers again, it's going to be where I have a bunch because I wasn't prepared for that kind of an order. No, these are not my digitals. I'm not creating digitals, Deb. I will have digitals, but they're not something that I draw or paint. Not yet. Thank you, Tim. My digitals are from the 1800s, Deb. My digitals are going to be stuff that I've collected that's out of copyright. I love journaling cards. I'm a journaling card junkie, literally. And I have stuff that I want to do with things that I already have. When you create your own digital, you better be able to draw or you better be able to these here are all done homemade. Like if you watch Miriam Smart, she draws all her own digitals, or digitals are sold by using what are they called? The plates with the brayers. Oh my god, gel plates. Those types of things people do. Like this is what Tina made. This is done with gel plating. So this is like a bright digital. She could actually sell these as digitals. And she painted these from scratch. Not the picture. The picture's a cutout. But like Tina does mixed media. So you can splash stuff on and you can turn all these into that. But mostly digitals are homemade. Like if you're talking a digital kit, that's what those are. I'm not doing my own homemade yet. Everything I've done that I'm turning into digitals in my Etsy when I go to launch my new shop, because I haven't launched it yet. It's going to be a little while. It's things I collected from the 1800s that's out of copyright that I can share with people. So I'll probably make the money back of what I paid when I bought them at auctions. Well, some of them. Depends, because some of them are kind of pricey. But that's why I like to go to auctions and things like that, because you can find older stuff and then share them with people. And the digitals I have are made from wood plate. They're plates. They're the original plates that were made with wood or steel. They are really cool pictures. Now, I know someone who has copied pictures like this, and she had them done professionally, like at Office Max. Charge like $12 a piece for them, but because I'm turning them into digitals, my sets, they're going to be done cheaper. I'm not charging $12 a piece for a picture. But I understand why she did, because she had them professionally, done. And Office Max is not cheap. But I use Insta Ink, so that's how I do mine. You take care, Tim. Thanks for coming in. Like cabinet cards and that kind of stuff. Those are digital but they're not necessarily a digital kit. You know what I mean? Like when I have a digital kit, I think of someone like a whole kit that somebody actually painted or drew. But digitals to me are just random, if that makes any sense. Like when you do a kit, like for instance, this person, they did this whole entire kit and they did all the ephemera with it. Like this is all a kit to me. A kit means to me all the pieces. But if it's just random digitals, that's something completely different. Then that's when I see kits and like you said, cabinet cards, postcards, because I have a lot of that stuff too. But most of the time, if you see somebody sell, like crafting kits, it's usually got like lace, fabric, paper, like it's a whole entire kit to do a book. That's what I think of when I think of kits. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just how I think of kits. When somebody tells me they have a digital kit, I think I'm going to make a whole journal out of it. But if it's just digitals, then to me, it's just pieces. So this is pretty much what you do is you go through whatever you have, notebooks, whatever. Stationery is real good, like the kind of stationery we used to write notes on in school as a kid. And you just fold them into a signature. And you figure out how many pages you want in your signature. Because when you fold them, you get double pages. So like right now, 1, 2, 3, 5. I have 5 pages, so that's front and back. So I usually make mine, I don't know. Let me see what Goth has. Usually like 10, between 10 and 20, depending on what. But this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, this kind of has 12, including this envelope. Because at the beginning of Gothica, I didn't show this one because what I did was this was not glued together. It was 2 pages folded in half, just like the rest of the book. So what I did was when I put the signatures, they're in the envelope. Then I turned it into an envelope once the signature was in there. I had the folds done, and then all I did was glue it, and the signatures actually hid in the bottom of this envelope because some people will hide the signatures that they tie off. And then this one shows. And then in Gothica, what I did was I had punch out of butterflies. So I put butterflies on each side of the signature so that they dangle. And then in this one, I used swans. I had a swan punch. So I put them on both sides and glued them. And all it does is just make it a little bit more fancier because it hides the edge of the string you use to tie. And the best thing to use, and this is Sun's. This was a Sun stamp. I mean, technically, you could use the skulls, spiders. You could use whatever you want in a Gothic book, but this is what I had. And then these ones are horses. They're tiny little horses. And I glued them. But people, like I said, if you leave it hang down, this was going to sit up, so I didn't want charms hanging out of it because it's not laying down. All mine sit up. So I try not to use charms on the bottom because the books just sit on it. Now, sometimes you can also take your signatures and make these longer. You make them to where they hang in the back of the book, and you can hang a charm off of them And then you can use it as a bookmark through your entire journal as you're writing in it. So there's that style too. I've done that on another journal. But there's so many things, so many possibilities. It's really cool. Yeah, mine too, Deb. I have tons. Hey, Christine. There's a lot of stuff out there with estate sales. I hit a lot of estate sales and things like that to find that kind of stuff. I got tons. That's why I can't wait to launch my second Etsy store because it's going to be filled with a lot of cool items. Now the center of this, because I want this to look pretty interesting, I'm going to take this piece off of the digital and I'm going to turn it around. So the center of this one is going to be right there as my center signature. So this is going to look readable. And you use magazine pages, anything that's got flowers. You could even cut up a flower book that nobody wants. And my used bookstore, that's a lot of how I find my stuff, or the local library. Our library here sells a bag of books for like $5. So I will go there and I'll try to look for botanicals and things with pictures in them. And then those you can add as pictures to turn into pockets or whatever. And even this could even be glued to this piece. So that it looks double. I didn't even think to print double-sided, because usually when it comes out of my printer, I can turn it around and print the other side. Which these could either be glued together if person doesn't like weight pages, but I don't mind weight pages, so. Because some people like everything dyed when it's dyed. But what I'll do is, this will be regular pages. And then I'll go through my ephemera stash and see if I have shorter ones to add to turn this more eclectic. And then once it's done and I have my signatures picked out, this book I'll probably do where it bends. I would say 2 or 3 signatures could fit into this one if you're going to sew it in. So I could put one here and then 2 more after it, or I could just put 2, or I could just use 1. I could make this one big heavy one and just do 1 signature in this book. So for a basic, I don't know. We'll see what I have to add to this, to how fat this signature can be. But I think I might do 2 in this one. But if I wanted to make it fatter, then all I'd have to do is cut this here, cut it here, and cut this whole back out of it and separate this book period and expand the spine if you want to make it bigger, and then you can add as many signatures as you want. So that's taken into consideration when you're doing this, but I want to share what I can. All right, Deb, you have a good one. And I hope you get to feeling better. That's terrible. So we'll start that one, and then I'm going to go back through this digital kit. And if you're looking to know where this digital kit came from, this just goes to show the price difference too. Digitals are a lot cheaper than buying the pads. I will link the Etsy store in where I bought this because it's a beautiful set. It really is. I've shared it with a couple people. Come on, Etsy, give me my purchases. There they are. And I shop from random different digital stores, so this one here is called Blue Daisy Vintage Ephemera. And the whole set with ephemera and everything included, I only paid $3.97. So that's what I'm saying. It's like all this stuff you can get so much cheaper than buying the digital kits. But if anybody's interested in this one with the flowers and the butterflies, thank you, Mark. This is the Etsy store, the listing I bought this from. So that's where this whole entire digital kit came from, with all the butterflies and the flowers. Thanks for coming in, Mark. So let's see here. I like that page. What else suits this journal? Looking at the colors. Hey, Penny. So we have that one, and then this one, and I'll do this one. How are you, Miss Penny? Thank you. This was a digital kit. I actually got it at this Etsy store. And the ephemera's included. It comes with a bunch of tags and envelopes. It was a really good deal for everything I got with it. Been busy. Very busy. Thank you, Cynthia. You're so sweet. Look at her go. So we're sharing everybody's channels that comes in, so that if people can see them, they can network. But one thing to remember is never share your own channel, because it costs you subscribers. No, YouTube's messed up. Always post your channel link for you. There's Penny's channel. There you go. Look at Cynthia. She's getting good at this. She's on top of it. I'll put Cynthia's link in here too again. She don't know yet. Someday. Now he does it up. Yeah, there's a lot of things I teach people as I learn, like, how earlier, how people have like follow 1,000,000 back. Instagram cuts you off at 7,500, and YouTube will give you an error 2,000. Now, once you start getting that error, that means you're following two people, Penny, and you're trying to more than an error, and it won't let you. Then when 2,000 people on YouTube back, then your channel continue to grow. because if you type in, people never think to ask Google, what is my cutoff of that? How I worded it is, how many people can I Instagram before I cut off? See what the answer says? Instagram doesn't allow one to follow more than 7,500 people. And I had these errors and couldn't figure out why. So one day I asked Google how many people could follow. I was blown away because I didn't know this. So you change the Instagram word to YouTube. How many people can I follow on YouTube before I'm cut off? Come on, Google, stop lying. I just had it up a minute ago. Because I kept getting a force error on YouTube and I couldn't figure it out when I was a newbie to YouTube. And the true following is the rules. I just had it up at the beginning. You can go back and rewatch if I can't find it. But they say that when you follow 2,000 up to 2,000 people, until those 2,000 follow you back to where you can continue to grow, it recommends that you go down through all your subscriber lists and delete the people who like have abandoned their channels, or if you see any that are, the person's not there anymore, unfollow those so that you can follow more people. It's very interesting. And then I had an app. They don't have one for YouTube, but they had one for Instagram because I kept getting these channels where I would sign into Instagram and it would say, so and so's extended hair is following you. And I'm thinking, why is a hair extension business trying to follow me? Because there's a lot of like spammers on there too. There's spammers everywhere, but Instagram, they're bad. So I had this app that was free and you could download it from the Play Store, and it was how to tell when people unfollow you on Instagram. So what the businesses were doing, I would watch it. They would follow you, and then as soon as you would follow them, they would unsubscribe from you. This is before, like, you could check on Instagram. It's actually faster because I know on Instagram and Twitter, you see who follows you back. But this was faster because, once you get up in the thousands, it's kind of hard to keep track. Well, that's what people were doing. They were following and unfollowing people, and it makes you wonder if people are doing that on YouTube too. Because I'll grow like 10, and then the next day I wake up and 10 are gone. I don't know what the game is with YouTube, but I know the YouTube algorithm's kind of messed up too. But I kept running in because I follow everybody. When I first started, I was just following all my favorite people, and before you know it, I was following a ton of people, and then I kept getting this 4 something error, and I'm like, "What the heck is this?" But when I Googled it, it wouldn't tell me what that error was for. Google would not tell me. But every time I would try to subscribe to somebody, it wouldn't work, and other YouTubers kept telling me, "Oh, you have to wait for a while and it'll let you." They would say, maybe you followed too many people in one day, try tomorrow. What still wouldn't work. So then I waited a week and it still wouldn't work. And then come to find out, I didn't have 2,000 people following me. So that's what happened. It was really interesting because I wasn't at the 2,000 subscriber level. I was only at like 500 or 300 at the time. So yeah, it's very interesting what you learn on here. But whenever I learn something and I prove it, I'll share it. Because I try not to prove, I try not to share false information. That because it's like everybody else, I'm still learning every day. But you'll have YouTubers, that are big in numbers that will also, give you a line of crap. Like, for instance, there was this gamer one time I followed, and he kept saying to me, you can't use emojis in here because YouTube considers them as spam. And I'm like, well, if YouTube considers emojis as spam, then why do they have them? And he got pissy with me. Like, he was getting mad at me on his stream. He had like 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers. I said, I don't care what you say, because if they didn't want emojis, they wouldn't have them available. And I said, so if you don't like emojis in your stream, it's your stream. Just tell people, hey, I'm not into the emojis, because there's probably some people on YouTube that don't like them. I said, but I've been an emoji queen since 2001. I've used emojis in every chat client I've ever been in because I'm an expressive person. And if I can't use emojis in a person's stream, I just don't go back, because that's my preference to use emojis. But I said, don't tell people coming into your stream that you're not allowed to use them because YouTube doesn't allow you when YouTube provides them. That doesn't make any sense. So he got mad at me and he asked me to leave his stream. And I said, no, I don't have a problem with that. And I never went back. But this same YouTuber also was telling people, you only go in and watch 30 seconds of, this is the same gamer. He kept telling people, you only watch 30 seconds of somebody's videos. I'm like, where are you getting your information? For a YouTuber to get paid, they need the full watch hours. You don't give them credit by only watching 30 seconds of their videos and moving on. How do you even comment on that? You know what I mean? Like, when I go to watch a video, I want to see the whole video to even form my comment. I can't watch 30 seconds and know what that whole video is about if it's an hour long. And I do understand that some people have really long videos, like 7 hours. And yeah, sometimes I try to find shorter ones because, the more people you follow, the harder it is to do it. But sometimes, you know what I do? I can set it aside, skim through it every 30 seconds, learn basically what the content is. This is how I do it personally, to know what my comment's going to be, to the person. Then I run it on my laptop the whole full watch time, because you're not giving a person any help if you're only watching 30 seconds and then abandoning their channel. It makes no sense to me. But if I skim, like, I'll hit my phone, like, for instance, now that I'm live, I can do this, and 30 seconds will pass and 40 seconds, and then I stop and listen. And, especially if somebody's selling because they're on that same product for a while, and I'll go to the next one, just enough to be able to comment. Then I will put that same channel on my laptop and let the whole thing run so they get full watch. That's how I do it. Because 4,000 hours is a lot of time. So just to show you what I mean by that, okay, you see that I have 2,700 and something subscribers. This just gives you an idea. Okay, I'm going to go into my YouTube Studio app. Now look at this. The last 28 days, that's all I got. I have 132 hours. That's it. And look how many people I have. And when you look at some of my videos, they have hundreds of people saying that saw my videos or my live streams, but my watch hours are getting nowhere. My channel got 1,429 views in the last 28 days. You got to have 4,000 hours. It's not easy to get those hours. If people do not give you full watch time. If they come in and they only visit for like 5 minutes, well, that's all you get. Now, I'm not here to get monetized. There's a difference. But a person who wants monetized, they have to find people to run their playlist and things like that, or they'll never get there. It takes a lot of work to get monetized. So, yeah. It's interesting when you look at the analytics of it all because it's not easy. So when I know that somebody's monetized, I don't care if somebody gives me a 30-second view because it doesn't matter. But when I know somebody's monetized on their channel or they're working to get monetized, I make sure they get their full watch time to help them. Yeah, Christine, that's funny. There's a lot to learn, there really is. Really, really, really is. And then I love it when people say, oh my gosh, you cussed, you're going to get demonetized. No, you're not. You're allowed to cuss on your channel and still be monetized. Now, if you're for kids, the only thing that I don't like about the channels that are for kids only is you can't comment. A lot of them, the comments are turned off. And nothing more I hate when I watch a video and I go to comment and I can't. That's so irritating because I want to comment. I want to interact with the people I follow. But anyways, there's so many things that people will tell you on here and they're so full of crap. It kills me. It just does. Animated emojis, if they were moving, this is something that I learned from my chat days. If you were in a chat room, they had people that booted your room. That means that they would lag out your, it's like animation. Animation, gaming computers, anything that you need a lot of RAM for is going to drag. So these booters came up with a way on Yahoo to close your chat room. That's how much time some of these people have on their hands. And so what they would do is we had animated ones. So they took and they would make what they called a room lagger. And you would see the whole room filled with moving animations. And all of a sudden, you know how we have a lag on YouTube? During a live sale, this would lag you out bad. And then the next thing you know, your chat room would shut down. So that's how I know the difference between spamming with animation versus spamming with still emojis. Our emojis do not move. They're still. So that means they're not animated. And so because they're not animated, they can't lag you. The only type that can lag out your room is if it was animated and moving, which makes sense. But some of these people, they just lie. It gets on my nerves. It's like, don't try to tell me because I've been there, done that. I ran a chat room for 6 years and I know the difference between what lags out a stream and what doesn't. But I think it's hysterical when people think they're trying to lie to people and they get away with it. Because it doesn't get past me that easy. I investigate. Me and Sandy sit over here and say, we're the sleuths. We sleuth. So anyways, my week has been busy. For anybody that wants to hear it, I got the best deal ever this week. Sandy. There's my sassy Susie Sandy. I was looking for bookshelves, and every time I go to Google and I type in bookshelves, you get the mainstays and all this for like $30, and you can Google these yourself. And all I was looking for was just a couple ones that maybe come a little bit above my waistline, and I was going to stick them in my computer room, and I just can't find anything. Like, wood is so pricey right now. It's even hard to find like bookshelves when you go to yard sales. So I decided to go to the Facebook Marketplace just for the heck of it. And I went to the search engine on the Marketplace and I typed in bookshelves for sale near me. People, check your Marketplace. I'm telling you, I don't care what bad things people say, you can really come across some amazing deals. You really, really can. So let me get to my pictures here. Hold on. I might have to go into. Sometimes I really hate my gallery on my phone. It's so irritating. Okay, I'm going to have to do it this way. This is going to be the best way to do it. I'll have to hit up my poor mom on Facebook because I showed her these. I mean, look at these prices. You see a little blue shelf for $34.34. You see that one for $29.98. This one here I really liked. Look at that one. It's blue, but $190 at Target. That's expensive. And all I wanted was just a couple cheapies. And here's another one. $499. What the hell are these people smoking? I don't think so. So I go into the Facebook Marketplace and I typed in what I wanted. Ladies, I got a hell of a deal. So this lady was telling me through the Marketplace. $50. $50. Look at that. It's 3 sets. It's 3-piece set. There's a secretary built in, a full bookshelf in the other. And I saw the wood. And let me tell you, people, I am good with eyeing stuff. I really love that trim. And I thought, boy, that is really nice for $50 for real. So my husband, my dad, and my grandson went up. $50, Penny. And my husband about died when he pulled up the house. It's Broyhill. I was, what? And he even pulled out the manuals and everything that came with it. Broyhill. Do you know how much Broyhill cost? Oh, I looked up Broyhill bookshelves, like $1,300. And this woman selling them for $50. I was like, what? And my husband just said it was a very richy subdivision where they went because it's in an area above us, above the city of Pittsburgh, PA. And that's where they traveled to. It was like an hour away from our house. He said, Tammy, those houses are so nice. And it was a family member who had passed and they were trying to empty the house. $50. That's all I paid for these. And they're gorgeous. I mean, look at that rug even in the room. That rug is even pretty. That's the house it came from. And it had like the dome walking from room to room. Oh my gosh. So hold on. Kyle, just give me a minute. Jessica, just give me 1 second. I got to brag this up. So then I took a picture and I said, first one, because I'm separating them. They're not going to be all against one wall because I have different purposes for them. So I sent this to Sassy Sandy earlier. Look what I did. That's the one with the secretary. I'm cleaning up my house. Do you know how many books I have from the 1800s sitting in boxes? So this was a very messy area. Poor Sandy, I sent her the before and after of my messy house. I literally, in this space, I had my grandmother's ironing board piled with books. And I had to put her ironing board away. So this is where the first one's at. And they all light up. They plug in and they have lights in them. I kid you not. $50. That's all I paid. So that's what I said. Check the marketplace because you never know when you're going to strike a deal. Now, the second bookshelf is just shelves all the way down. And then the third one is a great big opening. And then the bottom is 2 doors. So cool. Like, I got a steal this week. So yeah, I'm going to brag it up. I'm so happy. Like, I can't wait to get all my books. I have such a mess in my computer room and I cannot wait to get everything organized. So that's my goal, is to get the upper house organized and then get down here organized so that I can do a walkthrough, a video of my craft room. But it's going to be a while. I got a lot of work to do. Whew. But I was like waiting for the right one. And I am so happy. It's like God was saying, Tammy, get your house cleaned. That's how I look at it. He says, I'm going to grant you these bookshelves so you can clean up them boxes. And he wasn't kidding, because it was awesome. So I worked all night last night. I took Murphy's oil soap, scrubbed it all down, scrubbed the walls down. I took Pine Sol, mopped my floor. My house smells so good right now. It's getting there. It's a work in progress. I'm a terrible clutterer. I'm not a hoarder, but I am a clutterer. Like, you don't have a path through my house. It's definitely better than that. And stuff is not stacked on top of each other. It's just more like little piles of stuff all through my house. Hey, Kyle. I should have actually did a before and after, but then I thought, no, I'm not going to give the trolls stuff to talk about. Because I do like watching people who do clean up their places. Hey, go, Jessica. Because it does kind of teach people, you know what I mean, how to arrange things and stuff. But yeah. So this is, we're going to put Kyle's channel in here first. So when people come back and look later, I'm also trying to be a little bit of a network channel when I can to help people out. So there's Kyle's channel. And then we will go to Jessica's. Now, Jessica doesn't have a channel, but we will link her anyways, because you never know down the road. So we'll do Jessica's link. And anytime that you ever want to find some good channels, you can always go back through the live stream because you're blue and right click on people in the streams and check out their channels on my channel. Or you can go over here to where it says my name. You can scroll over here and click channels at the top. My settings are not private. All of the people that I follow, there's the whole list. Doesn't mean you got to follow all the people I follow, but you can go down, check out their content, and if you like them, then you can subscribe. That's another way of kind of networking. And then this was my other toy. I got so lucky that I actually finally got one. I love this. I actually found a person that sold this on, I can't remember if it was Poshmark or Macari. I got a very good deal on this and it works very nicely. They say this never gets dull because it's an auto sharpener, but you can use it like this, or you can fold it and use it for your short pieces of paper as a paper trimmer. Isn't that cool? I see a lot of people using these, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get one because Fiskars, the small ones, I feel personally, I've used a bunch of different brands, some off brands, and I feel like the Fiskars, they just don't stay sharpened on the little ones. So, but I really like this one, and I have a guillotine trimmer too. I like the guillotine ones, and they sell really nice ones for pretty reasonable on eBay. And then I have a couple smaller ones, but I really like this. So I had this one. My hubby got this for me for Christmas. But I told him it's my Christmas present because I'd been wanting one. Now, as far as the Tim Holtz glass hickey jigger, not interested. I don't want glass. I think they're cool when I see them on people's channels, but I just don't want glass. It has things on the side where you can put paint in that, but there are certain things that will stain it and it won't come off. And plus, who wants glass? Like, you know how horrible that would be if you broke it? That's what I keep thinking is they're not cheap. And if you would break it, it'd be horrible. Where these things here, I think, are much more reasonable. And I could do whatever I want on this because I cover it with this. If I go to paint or do anything, alcohol, inks, this thing wipes clean every time. And I actually got this at Maddie's sale. I love this thing because I could do whatever I want and everything cleans off of it. So I don't have to worry about messing up my pre-horsey. And Sandy, I still have not found those letters. I have no clue. If I don't find them before December, I'm going to be very upset with myself. I found the rest of my World War II letters to share the love story of Elsie and William. And I put them somewhere thinking, yeah, remember they're here. And I lost them. I have not been able to find them. I've been looking and looking and looking, and they're just, they disappeared. So they're here somewhere. I don't know when I'll come across them again, but I was hoping before December because I really want to finish reading some of these letters for people because they really enjoyed them. I can't help it. I don't know what I did with them. I had them in a plastic Kroger bag, and I found them upstairs, and I thought, Tammy, take them out, put them somewhere where you know where they'll be to finish them. I can't find them. You know, every time I clean or hide something for myself, it disappears. That's my life. It's my story. I'm sticking to it. I just can't find them. I thought I put them over here on my new stand because they would be easy to just grab, and they're not there. When I went to pick up the bag that I thought I left them in, it's filled with trims. I just know they didn't get thrown out. At least, God, I hope not. I would cry. I thought I stuck them under my stand right here where just I know I could reach for them, but I just do not know what happened to them. I don't. And I was hoping I would come across them by now, but it never happened. I've cleaned up a couple areas I thought they might be hiding in because I could have sworn I kept them close to me. And they're all tied up in cute little ribbons. I just don't know where they're at. I don't know. And I'm mad at myself because now I wished I'd have left him in the plastic bag upstairs where I could have come across them in my living room. Just don't know what I do with them. I'm terrible about hiding stuff from myself. It's awful. So, I don't know. It's crazy that I could find things I don't care if I find, and I can't find the things that I really want to find. It's awful. It is awful. I'm a very mixed up person. Hey, Golden Voice. There's Tamara. Let me get to her channel. And we will share her too. Is that your real name, Tamara? I like that name. It's different. And they sing on her channel, and it's so cute. You can even go in. Sometimes she has a guest, and you can even go in and request songs, and they'll sing them, and it's adorable. Like a lot of the older type songs, like from the 70s and that. It's really cool. Nope. Sandy, I don't know. I just don't know. Pitbull Mama. Hey. Let me get her channel in here. Get you up. My dog is part she's part Staffordshire Bull Terrier and part Lab. This is what she looks like. When her ears are back, you can really see the Staffy in her. And there's her face. There's my baby. My daughter, she had 2 pit bulls at one point in time, and oh my god, they were so stinking cute. She named them Bonnie and Clyde. And Bonnie reminded you, I forget what type of pits they were. Clyde had like a brownish white, brown like and white on him, and like up through his nose, like up through his forehead. And then Bonnie was so stinking cute. I had her live one time. I don't know if it was on YouTube. I think it was Yahoo Chat. I had her on a live or Pal Talk. Heck, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But she looked like the Spuds McKenzie. She had the, the black eye. Oh my God, she was so stinking cute. She was all white. She was adorable. But my daughter had to rehome her, which was really sad. Because at the time, her and her boyfriend had broken up, and he picked her and she picked the Clyde. So she took Clyde. She couldn't keep both of them. So she took Clyde with her, and Bonnie, I was told, went to a place where she was trained to be a police dog or something. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they said where she went. And I said, oh my gosh, she was so ornery. She was like this big. And she was trying to chew on my hands the whole time I had her live. It was so funny. She kept attacking my hands when I was messing with the keyboard. And Clyde was huge. And I remember she ruled him. Like, it was so funny. She would get mad and clutch onto his ear, and he would literally run from her. And he was like 10 times her size. They were so cute. But yeah, a lot of pit bulls get a bad name, and it's really sad because they can be very loving and loyal dogs. And I know my dog, she's very loyal. She sleeps all day so she can sit up all night at the edge of our bed to watch the door. It's really funny. She's so protective. See if I can find this one picture of her. When her ears are back, like I see the lab in that picture. Like that's her lab face. But then this is when her ears are back. There I see the Staffy. But what was funny was I found her on Facebook. I have a story behind my dog. And the guy was holding her up and he had her for sale on, for so much money on Facebook. And his description was funny. He said, I knew as soon as I saw her that she was perfect for me and my husband. I was like, she is just the perfect dog when I saw her puppy picture. And it was hysterical because he kept telling me she's part gator pit bull and she's part German shepherd. I'm like, dude, she's got lab in her. No, it must be the mix of the two. I said, I'm telling you, I've had a lab mixed with husky. I know what labs look like. And I had a pure blooded lab once too. I said, so I know she's got lab in her because I can see it. No, no, no. So you know what I did? I brought her home, trained her and everything to go outside. I trained her. She couldn't handle the oh my goodness, the crate. She didn't like being enclosed where she couldn't see things while she was in training. So my daughter told me her pit bull Clyde didn't like it either. She says he had to be able to see, Mom. She said he about bit a hole in that crate. So I got to thinking, I told my husband, what else can we use? Because we need something that's easy to clean up because I don't want my house smelling like dog pee and stuff. You'll never believe what I trained her in. I have my bookstore down here so I could stay at home with her and keep an eye on her when I was doing my business. A pack and play. A pack and play for kids is the perfect training for a dog that can't handle a crate because it's open. They can see through the mesh, but they can't get out because it's high, and it's great because the mat is easy to wipe. And I thought, why didn't I think of this sooner? Because I had one for my grandkids. So that's what she was trained in. She slept a lot as a puppy. So what I would do is I had a pack and play because my bathroom down here is pretty big. So I put her in there. And then I would hear her whimpering and I would go in and play with her in between customers. I mean, it's not like I had a pack door anyways, because who goes to a used bookstore all day? So I would go play with her. And then my aunt had a book that she brought from a library. And she said she hated when she was growing up, because she's a lot older than me, when people would rub their dogs' noses in their piss and shit. She said, I like to take the people and stick their face in their own shit and see how they like it. She says, I can't stand that when people would train their dogs that way. So she went to a library and learned how to train her Pomeranian. Because she liked Pomeranians. That was her style of dog. And she said how she did it, because she taught me. She says, you take a paper towel and you dip it in wherever they have their mess. You let them smell the paper towel and say, this is where it goes. You take them outside, set it on the ground, put the puppy beside it so they know it's where it goes. And she said, then when they get a little bigger, if they haven't stopped yet, then you take that mess and you take a leash and you put it on the doorknob. And then once their leash broke, and she said, put it just out of their reach. Because think about it. When dogs used to be tied up at their dog boxes, they didn't want to be near where they went to the bathroom. They would go as far away as they could because they'll cry. So that's how she taught me to break. And it works. Like within a week or two, my dogs were trained. It was amazing. So when she would have an accident, a pack and play, I would clean it up. I would take her out, take her mess outside, show her where it goes, tell her where it went, then come back and clean my pack and play. But there was also um a technique on their feeding. She said usually the Pomeranian types, they go to the bathroom a lot faster than a medium-sized dog. Medium-sized dog, it's anywhere from like 20 minutes to a half an hour after they eat. That's when you wanna take him outside to try to potty him, where a dog like, a smaller ankle dog, like 10 to 15 minutes after they eat or drink, you'd wanna do it. She said, "So at first, you gotta control instead of just putting a water dish and a food bowl on the floor, control what time of the day they eat, wait the 10 or 15 minutes or whatever size your dog is, because the digestion and take him out," and it worked every time. I loved her doing this because it taught me a lot. Her dogs were something. They would catch frisbees and she would train her dogs to do all kinds of stuff. So it was really cool learning from her the proper way. Yes, I'm talking about our puppy. There's my hubby. Yes, the pack and play was awesome. So, I could be with her but I was so exhausted, pit bull mama. I was like, I'm so tired. I felt like I had a newborn, when you first get that puppy. And I literally took her for her first vet appointment while I was sharing. My shirt was inside out and backwards, and nobody said anything. Nobody says like, "Hey, your tag's showing in front." That's how tired I was. Because we didn't want her to go to the bathroom on our floors because, we have like a kitchen area. We didn't let her near the carpet area yet. But I was like exhausted because you do feel like that. But then once she was trained, she was amazing. But then the bad thing was later on, I had a job through the night and my husband had a job and we just missed each other because I had to work for a period of time. Well, once you train a dog to go outside, they don't want to have an accident. And I even put like the fake grass down, with the smell, the spray that you spray to draw them. And I would put her in our garage, hoping she would go to the bathroom because she could only hold it for 6 hours. And that's a lot for a dog. But I couldn't get back here in time. And there was a few nights that we missed each other. Like my husband wasn't here and I wasn't here. So I put her in the garage with the fake grass, and you know that dog would not take a poop. She would literally hold it till my husband come home, and he said, "Tammy, she was dragging me out the door." Now she would pee. He said she sniffed under the garage door to try to get the scent of outside, but that is so hard on an animal. And I felt bad, but at the time I couldn't help it. I was working at a skilled living facility and we needed the extra money. So, but I can't. I told him, I said, I prefer to work from home. I worked there until they closed when COVID and everything happened, but she would not. He said, that's my husband, Mike. He said, I would take her out. She would poop like 3 piles because she refused to go in the garage. And I felt bad for her. I'm like, that's awful because I don't want her to hold it the whole time and end up with some kind of bacteria. But it is rough. I don't know how people have an animal if they work. Like I've heard horror stories about them living in cages all day, and I can't do that to her. I can't. I'm not putting her in a crate all day when I'm working. I think that is not, it's a piss poor way for an animal to live. Unless somebody is home with that animal, it's just too hard on them. It really is. So I'm glad when that job ended because I could be back home with her, but it was sad. That's the only time I ever had to put her through that. And I was like, no, told Michael, I can't handle it because she didn't want to go. But she's my puppy. But she was my birthday present and she's such a good dog. And then he put a couple cages together and made her a place where we could put her outside, but I wouldn't put her out there overnight because I don't trust people. And plus, coyotes and stuff coming up around. But that's her play area for like an hour. When she needs like a break from us, we'll put her out there so she can have a minute to be by herself. And it's funny because when she goes in her little cage outside, you'll hear the neighborhood dogs barking and she's talking back to him. I said, "There's your friends." She's so stinking cute though. We just love her to pieces. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, the pack and play is the way to go. I'm telling you. And you know what was even funny? You know those what did they call them that came out that was popular? What was that fella's name, Michael? Pillow pets. You know those pillow pets when they came out and they had the dog shaped and the other? My dog loved the dolphin. As a puppy in the pack and play, she would curl up on the pillow around the fin of the dolphin, and that's what she slept on. But the pack and play was easy. I kept a bottle of, um, like a disinfectant cleaner. I didn't want to use bleach because I didn't want her to, pick it up if she had another accent. So I picked up I can't remember what I used as my cleaner. I know I had a bottle of Dawn and I had some paper towels and but I would soak up if she peed or pooped and then take her outside. Like I said, come back and clean everything after I took her out when I trained her. But I would clean up the whole pack and play because it has that plastic. And that's what she slept on, a Pellet Pet. Her messes were on that plastic and she was easy to train. What did it take us, Mike? Like 2 weeks? And then once she started getting trained, it was cute because I would hear her in the pack and play going, making them little puppy sounds. And I would go get her and take her outside, and then I would walk her around for like 15 or 20 minutes so she would get some exercise in. But I had toys for her and all kinds of stuff in the pack and play for her to play with. And then, of course, once she got bigger, then she was fine. She could stay upstairs. And then what I did when she became, trained and older, I would leave her upstairs. I would come down here and I would open my store from 11 to 7. My husband didn't work until he didn't leave the house till noon. So he would take her out and potty her before he went to work. It's just like having your own kid and making a schedule. So he would take her out at noon, and then I would go upstairs at 4, take her out as long as the day was cool and it was nice. I would put her water dish outside and she would go in her pen from 4 to 7. And, on a good day. If it wasn't a good day, then what I would do is I would take her out to go to the bathroom and then just bring her back in the house. And we bought like 3 cheap beach towels to wipe her feet. Like when it rains and it gets muddy. So we'd clean her feet off and stuff on bad days. But she would stay upstairs and I would hear her if she needed to go to the bathroom. So it was awesome. We have a few parks here too, but we never, oh my gosh, that's awful. She picked a piece of our yard out. We didn't take her to too many parks because we never had time. But we walk her around the house and my husband takes her out, when he comes home. He might jog up the road and back with her at times, but she picks a spot in our yard and that's where she likes to go. Right down close to the back street. She likes to go poop there. He told me, he says it's like an Easter egg hunt going out there because every Wednesday he cleans up all of her poop for the garbage and puts it all in the garbage. We got a little pooper scooper and a little garbage thing out there, and we take care of all that. But she's a riot, but it is like having a kid. It really is. But I actually met somebody else. I don't know whatever happened to him. They own pit bulls too. I think they even had a Roddy. And I was asking him, what the heck do you do for dog toys? This dog, I was doing videos there for a while called The Toys That Roni Destroyed. She is pretty decent with a level 3 toy, but you can't give her anything under that. She'll have it shredded as soon as you buy it. But we were so fortunate with her because she's never torn out our garbage. She's never torn up our shoes. One time, she got a hold of a paper towel roll. I did a video on it. It was so funny. She got a hold of a paper towel roll that had a few paper towels left on it. She had it in pieces when I come home, and I turned my phone on. I said, "Brody, what did you do?" That look they give. And somebody come in my comment section, they're like, "Don't be mean to her." I'm not being mean. I like her guilt face. When you ask what they do and they look at you all innocent, like, "I didn't do it, mommy." It's the kind of look she had in the video, and it cracked me up. I said, "Roni, did you do that? Were you a bad girl?" And she's like ducking her head and she wags her tail. It's just comical. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so sweet. Aw. Yeah, I will do a panel one night. We'll have to do a panel. I wouldn't mind talking about certain things with certain people, but I always had a hard time getting people to join a panel. It's like a lot of people that come into my live stream were shy or something. But we'll have to. We'll have to make a night that you come in and you talk about your pets. I think that would be a blast. They are cute though. But the toys that seem to last her, um, she's not into the pull ropes. She could care less about the plastic frisbee we bought her. She likes the squeaky bottle, every noise you can imagine in one toy kind of dog. So that right when we're in a good part of a movie, you hear crunch squeak. And her very first toy we ever got her, she never destroyed. It's just a little ball that looks like a reindeer face, and it squeaks, and she's never destroyed that toy. But you so many were just crazy. My husband would tease her with it, and he does this little voice thing. He'll go, "Rosie, I'm gonna get you, Rosie." And next thing you know, she's tearing the stuffing out of its head. I told Michael, "You're taunting her." But she has a whole toy box up there full of the toys that actually outlasted. But oh my gosh, did I have piles? I would wait till she have like a so big of a pile, and then I'd do a video. She's a riot. She really is. She has you know, it's the kind you get at Walmart where it's got like a raccoon looking where the tail is flat, but it has that noisy sound. And then in the center of it's the squeak. I can't tell you how many times she pulled the squeak out of the squeaky toys. Oh my god, they're so funny. And the other couple I met on here, I don't know whatever happened to them. They kind of disappeared, but they were telling me they had the same problems with their dogs tearing stuff up. And I go, "Well, it is what it is." I said, "I don't mind buying her a toy if it lasts for like a month, but it's awful when you bring one home and that night she's got it torn apart." So we can't buy her anything with what was it? There was one main toy my husband would pick up at first, and she would just need it. Like with her front teeth, she would just she kept picking at it just with her front teeth until the stuffing came out. I can't remember. I think it was a level 2 toy though. She would tear them suckers apart. Anything that she could get a hold of. But the like intertwine, like the string ropes and stuff, she's not really into those. She didn't really care for those ones. Because we kept trying to buy her stuff, it was more solid together, but nope. She likes anything that looks like an animal outside, like a squirrel, or her favorite ones are on her bed. And then my husband gets her those type of bones. It's got the flavor in the center, and the vet said her teeth look really good. So she likes those. And she has a rubbery hog up there. It's like hog. I mean, the noise it makes is horrible. It's horrible. She likes that one, but mainly it's the long ones. That's so funny. You know, when you say that, it's hysterical. I had a friend who had a full-blooded husky. She was pure white, and her name was Keisha. And I remember she would say, "Keisha, if you don't stop barking, you're going to the basement." And she would hide under the kitchen table. She would duck her head and hide like, "You ain't putting me down there." Oh my gosh, they're funny. And then my aunt that I told you that was teaching me how to potty train, her dogs were so spoiled. Like, I don't know everything she taught her dogs, but this is when she was retired and she had like all day with them. But I'm telling you, her dogs were so smart. She had this one miniature collie, and she would specifically say, I mean, she had a humongous toy box for this dog. And she would say, "Go find Rags." Like, she had a specific name for a toy, and that dog would go to that toy box and bring it to her in a pile. And then she says, "Watch what she does when I ask her if she wants to go to Dairy Queen." She says, "Okay." She says, "We're going to the Dairy Queen. You want some ice cream?" This dog would like do a happy dance. Like, she would literally have her front paws in the air, like literally dancing in front of her. She's like, this is what she does when I say ice cream. Well, then she says, "Well, we're not going to go today." She says, I just wanted to show." She says, "Don't get mad." And the dog hid. She was mad at her because she told her she was going to get him ice cream. And then the dog hid. Like, "How dare you not get my ice cream?" She says, "Darn it, now I'm going to have to go get him ice cream." I can't remember if it was a male or a female. But she says, she did. She says, "I'm going to have to go." She says, "Thank goodness it's not too late." She says, "But I never usually mention ice cream." Now, my dog loves Frosty Paws. Like, I don't know what is in this, but it's in the freezer section next to your ice cream. She goes nuts over these, and they're like in little cups like you buy for kids. My husband buys them, and I mean, she knows when he's done eating and he goes to get some ice cream for himself, she'll stand there and make these little monkey sounds until he brings her ice cream, her little ice cream. It's not ice cream though. My husband said, you know how men are. He says, "I stuck my finger in it to see what was so great about it." He says, "It really doesn't have any taste." He says, "I don't know why she likes it." He said, "But she does. She goes nuts. Every time she sees a Frosty Paw cup, she's like, 'Gimme, gimme, gimme.'" So that's her favorite treat. But they are something. And then my aunt would throw a frisbee, and her miniature collie would catch it. Then she had a Pomeranian named Cuddles. And oh my God, she was so cute. But she said they are a lot of work. She says, because when you have a Pomeranian, she said, I have to bath her. And of course, I have to cut their fur around her butt and stuff because they will get clumped fur if you don't pay attention to them. She says, you definitely have to groom them. She was so good with her dogs. Her dogs looked beautiful. They were brushed. They were so well taken care of. And I love that she went to the library to learn things. Now, when we got Roni, one of the things I told my husband is there were certain behaviors I wanted to work with her because, she kept lunging and about pulling my arm out of socket when she sees a rabbit or something in the yard. So we started watching videos by Zach. He is such a good animal trainer on YouTube. Oh my goodness. My husband would watch his videos and I would watch his videos, and we started working with her, teaching her different things. And she's so smart. It's amazing how smart your animals can really be. But here's his channel. I'll share his channel for people who have pets. He is so good. That's Zach's channel. He's got a lot of followers. He's got 3.54 million. Well, no wonder he's good. Feeling overwhelmed, stop barking and let me sleep. He teaches you how to interact your dog with other ones in parks. I mean, he's really good. But when I come across, what I feel is a good YouTube channel that's helped benefit us with certain things, I love sharing it with people. Because, even though people can be in the millions, people might not know they're there. So I basically got this set up tonight and this set up tonight, and I'm going to go through my shorter papers upstairs because I want to add a little bit of an eclectic look to these signatures. And then next week, once I get that part done, I'm going to make sure I have my sewing kit down here, and I will teach you how to sew the signatures into your journals if you're interested. Because I know I have different variety of people that follow. Some people aren't into journaling. Some people are. So if you're a journaler or not, you can learn how to make a journal on my channel because I'll show you. And you can do this out of anything. It can be out of book board. It could be out of a cracker box, cereal box. I can show some of those too eventually. Anything can be turned into a scrapbook, journal, glue book, whatever you want to use it for. I like my glue book. I didn't get to work in this tonight because I worked in it the past couple weeks. Come on, journal, stay up there. I got slippier papers I'm going to put away. But here's my glue book, and this is just a lot of fun. This is just a true junk journal glue book because most of these are ads I've cut out of papers that come in my mail and magazines. This is my first glue book, and I had a lot of fun making this one. So that's my glue book. But this is what I do on my channel. Crafty stuff. And networking. And reviews. And makeup. And I will be doing book videos again. Because I know a lot of my people are complaining. You're doing a lot of unboxings and no books. So I will get back to selling my books, and whether people buy or not, you're okay. You never have to feel like you have to buy from me. I never wanted anybody to ever force to do anything when they come to visit my channel. But I do in a used bookstore, and I do miss my books. But it's going to be a little bit yet. So put up with my unboxings until I get enough books built up to do another genre. Because I usually pick a month and do like all action and suspense books. And then I'll pick another month and I'll do all romance. And then another month and do all educational. So that way you get a variety and you can see the post all month long. And then if you're interested, you can buy books at the very end of the month. You just give me your list. I will put them in my Etsy store and say, hey, this is a special order for you. And I will email to you or send it to you through Facebook Messenger. And then you go buy them. And that way shipping and everything's done. That's how I do my sales for my bookstore. And I do have a license. I do own a physical store, but I haven't had it reopened since COVID. Yep. The water bottles seem to be one of her favorites too. Oh, I bet. See, that was another thing she does is she needs it with her front teeth, those ones like that. The rope. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. I had a cat that did that with icicles that you put on the tree. My husband looked at her when he is, what is on her butt? She had ate one. Well, they don't digest. And it was stuck where she went to the bathroom. Oh my God, it was awful. So I can only imagine what you go through with your strings. We can't give her any strings either. Hey, Frey. How are you? We are going to put, yay, look at you. Congrats on your 1K. I just went in to see your channel. Here is Frey's channel link. Whenever you get a certain number, you try to get anywhere from, like, if you make it to 1K, try to get it to like 15 or 20 people over. That way, when YouTube purges, you don't get hit so hard. Journals are a lot of fun. Now, I can't take the credit for this cover. I bought this off of somebody's live sale. I didn't do this cover. This cover I did. This here was Holly Hobby fabric that I found on eBay. And I did this cover for a journal that I finished. The only thing it needs to be done on this is it needs a tassel. If I decide to put a tassel on it. I don't know if I'm going to or not. But I like this one. This one here, my glue book, this is actually made out of, believe it or not, Dollar Tree wrapping paper. Like I said, journals can be made out of anything. And then these were papers that I just had random. Or you find at yard sales. People sell paper all the time. And this was cardstock that I had bought a long time ago called Tuxedo. And usually I like to take the outer layers and make them cardstock and put paper in the center. That way it just makes them a little firmer. And I got a bunch of different styles. I got a memory journal. This one here, Pitbull Mama, I made this out of a cracker box. You can use cracker boxes, like the townhouse ones are thick. You can make a journal out of a cereal box and other cracker boxes, but this is the trick to make them thicker. If it's a thin, like this one here, I didn't do out of a thick box. I did this one out of a thin one. You can glue two pieces of cardboard together and make it thicker. And then just add paper. This is just printer paper. And I made pockets. This is my memorial book. And this is wallpaper. Like paper liner for drawers, wallpaper. It's so easy to make a journal. It's cool. Take care, Penny. Thanks for coming in, too. It's great to see you. And Penny, she sells Stampin' Up! Stamps on her channel. Which Stampin' Up! Stamps are nice. They're very nice. And I believe some of them have dies. It's like it's just a nice collections. But if you have, like, if you're running off your own homemade invitations for things like that, you can use all that extra pages in your journal. Now this journal here, I could do a hidden signature where it shows this is signatures. This I could do a hidden or put the signature in them. I don't know. This is actually pretty thick. I don't know if I can do this as a hidden signature or if I'm going to do this as a sewing through, because I don't know if my needle, it should though, because I do have an awl. We're going to sew the signatures into this one because I just did a hidden signature with my Gothic one. So, but this will be next week. I'm going to show people how to sew these in. But I'm going to finish putting papers in these because I have some that are different sizes upstairs. I'm going to add a few different ones and then sew them in so you guys can see how it's done. So this is kind of like a beginner's journal, but you can do any kind of cover you want. My favorite book, do you mean to read, Jessica, or my favorite size to make journals? My favorite size to make a journal is a 6x9, but I have them all different sizes. But I like a 6x9 for the simple fact I don't have my 6x9 near me, but I did an altered journal because I wasn't keeping my journals at first. I was putting them in giveaways or selling them. And I started working on this one and I started liking it as I got through it. And I'm thinking, I want to keep this one. It was the first one I wanted to keep. And it was actually done, believe it or not, as a National Geographic's, just magazine cutouts. And it was done like this one, almost, of course, a little different. When you do an altered book journal, this book came in through my store and it had a gash in it. So this was in my freebies and nobody picked it up. So I decided to take maps out of National Geographic. Now, when you do this type of book, you got to know how many pages is in it from this page to the end. And then what you do is you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just count out book pages and then rip out 5. But there's a way you have to figure it out. Like, I like these type of books when it's an altered book journal, nothing signatured or nothing. It's just tearing pages out. I like to have anywhere from 50 to maybe 80 pages. That's it. Sometimes, I mean, 50 is my preference though, because it's a lot of work to refill the book. The more pages you rip out, the better it is. So I would count like 5 and maybe rip out 8, depending on how many pages is in it. That's the formula. I got it written down somewhere, but you got to figure out how to get it down to 50. So what I did was when I rebuilt the book, this is washi tape. This is my coffee dyed paper, and I cut it and glue it back into the book. This was a page in the book, so I didn't have to do anything. This was a blank page. All I did was put a map on it because I wanted to turn this into a traveling book. This would be cool if you go on vacation. Hey, John. Well, I'm glad you got to stop in, and you take care. And then what I do is I go through, and this is my dyed pages. I re-add these back in. I did a 4-week video on how to make one of these. And then what I did for these 2 pages was I wanted to make a pocket because you can make hidden secret pockets. So I glued the page here, glued it here, and I have a side pocket. You can glue here and glue up and have an up and down pocket. And then this is a tag. This is fabric with a charm, and you can write on this. So it's a secret hidden place. This page here, because I do different styles of altered books. Also, you can take the original page with words on it, and you can fold this back, and you can glue the fold and have a side pocket. I have that done that way too. I don't know if I have one down here because those are cool too. Let me see if I have one done. What's this one? Maybe this one is. Did I do this one that way? Yes, I'll show you another altered type. And I'll tell you, the altered books are cool. These are my favorites, to be honest. They're a little bit more work, but I like these because you don't it doesn't matter what size they are. But my favorite, there's a lot of people that throw away Reader's Digest because they're not into them as much. And I know here for a while, people were just pitching them. Reader's Digest are so cool because when you pull the covers off of some, this is what they look like. Under the covers, they already have the design. There's some on Reader's Digest you will find like pure blue, pure purple, but some from the 50s, you find they have beautiful covers. Some have deer, but you don't know. So whenever I go book hunting, I'm always flipping the covers, the jackets off to see what the hardback looks like. So this one here, I just randomly added my coffee dyed, food coloring dyed. I find different things to dye with. And I rebuilt this back to where, this is a page out of the book. Sometimes you'll find the pages in the book that you want to keep if they have illustrations. And then I just rebuilt it back up with my dyed papers and random magazine map pages from National Geographic. So this is a traveling journal. And you can take it with you when you go on vacation. This one here is a different style. This is out of the Reader's Digest, like I said. I wanted to make a January book because I'm a January born baby and I didn't have anything to do with winter. Hey, pig. Nope. You'll survive, pig. You deal with my horsies and then you keep the Pegasuses so I can come enjoy the winged horses on your channel. So I did the same concept with this one where I tore out so many pages, but I'm going to show you a different style of a flip through. These came out of things I cut. This was off of a random paper pad. This here I ran off as an image. This was my sled as a kid. I wanted to put some of the pictures in that mean things to me because this is a book for me that I'm keeping. This here was washi tape, and you will have wrinkles. When you go to put stuff back in the altered book, sometimes you do get wrinkles. So what I did with this page is I cut it right here. This was something new. I cut the page. The original page was a word page. I cut it down to here, and then I used it to attach another page to, and then I washi taped it. So I rebuilt that page with another page. And then as you go through this, I put in distressed pieces of ripped pages, and I found these free. You can type in free printables for kids with lines. So that's what I did for that page. And then the page I was telling you about, this here is just added to a page, and this is just added to a page, but this is also the ones you can bend back. And I think I have a couple in here like that. This here is a painted page. I used my finger and finger painted on that. That was fun. I played with gesso. These kind of books, if you have never worked with gesso and stuff like that, this is the perfect book to do that because you can't mess it up. So these are my coffee dyed pages again. And look, this is what my favorite thing is to do. I call this my peekaboo pocket. So what I did was I took 2 pages of this book. I folded this one down and glued it here and here. Then I cut my coffee dyed paper to go there. And then there's an animal peeking out of the pocket. And then I covered this, and now I have a pocket right here because I glued it here and I glued it here. And then you can store stuff in there or just leave it as a peekaboo pocket. I love the peekaboo pockets because I think they're so stinking cute. And I did it here too. And I just added my page to cover the words to give it some character. And then this is just another. Now I will put paper clips to know where my pockets are. So I put a paper clip here because this is the down into pocket. This is 2 pages glued here and here to give the down in. So you can have a side, you can have a peekaboo pocket, and you can have an up and down pocket. And then this is just random. This was a page in the book, so I left it. Covered the words with just a piece of paper. This was another book page in the book, and I just left it. Like I said, if you find illustrations, you don't got to cover, but you just got to be careful when you go to rip your pages out, what not to take out. And then this here's a napkin. This is what I mean by taking, if you have a 3-ply napkin, take the other 2 layers off. Very carefully tear your napkins apart. And when you glue that back on, the words show through the picture. So it gives a character. And then since this one's on the side, and you can alter these paper clips with, you know, trim and stuff like that. There's another pocket, you know, to make you put hang charms on it just to make them look cute. That's what an altered paper clip is. You can tie ribbon on them or whatever. There's a music page out of another book. Anytime you have books that are falling apart or not, it don't matter. If you have a book and nobody buys it at your yard sale, tear it apart, make it into a journal. That's what I do. But I do try to sell the books first. And if nobody wants them, then I turn them into these. And then I have all my favorite things in here. I like deer, horses, just Christmas, everything. There's a fox. Everything that I love that I saw in National Geographics or from Pinterest, I just rebuilt the book. And sometimes you might see poems and different things like that. Like, look at that cute donkey. And you could even do one of your dogs, you know, just like I did a memory one book of my cats. You can do one of your pit bulls. You could totally take pictures of your dogs and use all kinds of pages and write stories about your dogs and what they did for the day. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. And I like the altered books. I really like these because there's something you can start out with and it's simple. You know, you don't have to worry about your signatures being in order or nothing like that. Like I said, you just tear out pages and you rebuild it how you want. And Pitbull Mama, I don't know if you were in here when I showed my memory cat book. These are the 2 cats I had for 21 and 22 years. And I made a journal of their memories. And because they were my black kitties, they were sisters from the same litter. They used to come out every Halloween, you know, whenever I would do, and I never knew this, but where I live, I don't know if this is everywhere. They will not adopt cats out, black cats, for the whole month of October here because people were sacrificing them. Can you believe that shit? Because of Halloween. I'm like, people are ignorant. I never thought about that with my kitty cats. They always came out and greeted the kids when we had trick or treat because my cats love people, especially Hope. But I made this and I got a lot of these printables off because I got Insta Ink, which saves me lots of money. So I printed off a bunch of stuff, and plus I had stickers. You can find so much stuff around the holiday for Halloween. So I did all Halloween to a point, and then at a certain point it goes into fall. There's the fall start. And then I will continue filling this. Look at my dog when she was little. We didn't bring her around the cats at first because she was too rompy, but as she got a little bigger, as my husband's sleeping up there, they cuddled in bed with they got used to her. Like they hissed at her at first, smacked her in the face a little bit, but they never used their claws. And then they all slept together. So this is my memory book that I will continue to fill with pictures as I find them on my external hard drive. Look, this is my hubby. Heather used to sleep under his blanket and against him. Every time you see a picture of him in my photo albums, he's sleeping. But then it goes back to Halloween a little bit. But anytime I find, look at that. Look how cute that is. She's like, this is my daddy. She's wicked. Heather was so vicious sometimes. She would bite you. But Hope was more loving. But they had part Siamese in them, so that's why. But I just keep adding pictures of this until it's full. But this is just my kitty book. My memory, my Heather, and my Hopi. Look at him. He's surrounded. This is what they would do to him. They love your body heat. So he would have one on top of him, one beside him, and the dog in the middle. Like there was no room in my bed for me. It was him and the pets. But that is, so you can do journals for everything. You know, memories, everything. You take care too, Christine. And thanks for coming in. Yeah, I gotta go too. My hubby's home from work. And I am yet to eat dinner. I'm hungry. We're on a weird schedule with his work schedule. I don't eat normal hours. Take care, Christine. But so to see how I did the altar journals, there's like a 4-week thing, but you probably got to go back into a lot of my videos to get to it. But this one here, I will sew the signatures in next week so that you see how I do the signatures. But like I said, I'm going to add a few more things to it. I was going to decorate it a little bit before I put it in, but you know what? I'm not going to because I'm probably not going to use lace pockets or anything in this particular one. So I will be able to sew them in. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what I find upstairs before next week. I'm only going to do 2 signatures in this one. And then you'll see how I put it together so that you're able to do it if you want to too. Normally I would do the cover and do the rest, but this time I had these pre-bought and I want to finish some journals I already have. The second cover I have is this one. This was another one I had bought off of a live sale. It's a ship one. This is a really pretty one. It's very grungy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. This looks like it would make a really cool scrapbook, actually. But I'm not sure. So I'm working with this one because I know I want this to be a journal for now. But anyways, you never know what we'll learn on this channel because I'm all over the place. But I am going to go. I want to thank everybody for coming in. And if you want to, you can go back and skim through the live. If you want to find some channels and some new subscribers, go check them out. They're pretty good at supporting back. So that's what I like. So you all have a great night, and I hope you have sweet dreams. It's always fun meeting new people for sure. And I even posted a couple links in for you to go and grow your channel too. James is one and Cooley Coy is the other one. He's funny. He's really funny. But you got to catch him on the right time because he's in the Philippines. So he's on kind of late my time. You are welcome anytime. And hopefully next week I'll be able to sew these in. And I will see you all soon. Bye.